Hi, we're here at the SC Congress Canada with Dr. Anne Cavoukian, Ontario Information and Privacy Commissioner. Hi, Anne.
Hi, Angela.
So Anne just gave a session on securing North America's power grid, and we hear so much, Anne, about the security of the smart grid and the power grid, but we don't usually hear so much about privacy concerns. So you touched on that during your session very heavily. So tell us, what are the main privacy concerns associated with the smart grid?
Well, for the first time, privacy is featuring prominently in the delivery of electrical usage information. You might say, why? Well, because think smart meters, and once smart meters that are going to be connected to the smart grid, but smart meters can communicate information in an almost real-time basis about the activities that take place within your home. So think about it. The house is your castle. It's sacrosanct. What happens behind the walls of your castle, no one's supposed to have access to that information, but they might through the smart meters on the smart grid. When your appliances are all smart, they're going to be able to tell others, the utility, when you shower, when you eat, when you get up, when you watch TV, when do you go to bed, when do you plug in your electric car, how long are you away from the household. These are enormous concerns, not just in terms of security issues, but privacy relating to the activity of your electrical usage patterns within the household. This is very privacy invasive, and basically nobody should have this information other than your utility in order to provide you with service. You pay for the service, end of story. But it won't be the end of the story if unauthorized third parties are allowed to have access to your data. That's the privacy concern.
So, huge concerns. And are utilities companies thinking about these concerns? And are there any differences between companies in Canada and the U.S.?
Well, I want to tell you, largely speaking, this isn't on the radar of utilities. Utilities are talking about the security-related issues, cybersecurity, the smart grid, all of which is important. You have to have security in order to have privacy. But the privacy issue just isn't on most people's radar. We're very lucky here in Ontario, Canada, my jurisdiction, because I have compliance over the utilities. I've met with them, and they've been fabulous. So Hydro One, which is one of the largest utilities in North America, not just Canada, and also Toronto Hydro, they've been required to deal with this because everyone in Toronto will have a smart meter by the end of this year, by law. It's mandated by law. And in Ontario, by the end of 2012. So our utilities have had to deal with this issue, and they know that they need the confidence of their customers. They need their trust. So they work very closely with us to embed privacy into the system of the smart grid and the smart meters to give people a comfort level. And remember, in some jurisdictions where it's not mandated, customers have said no to smart grids. In California, for example, PG&E is the major utility. LA area, San Francisco, they've said no to smart meters. We don't want them. We don't trust the utility with our information. So that can be the consequence. You have to have confidence and trust, and our utilities have been working with us to ensure privacy is embedded into the system. We're now trying to grow that message across Canada and the United States.
So tell us a little bit about this privacy by design approach, and it deals with embedding privacy into the system.
Privacy by design, it's a new world way of thinking. We're retiring the old zero-sum model of thinking of privacy versus security, that somehow there are trade-offs that have to be made in order to get the system secure. That's nonsense. You don't need unnecessary trade-offs between privacy and security. It's not either or, zero-sum. We want you to do positive sum, which means you can deliver both privacy and security, not versus, and the two together will provide an enhanced level of overall protection of data for your systems. So privacy by design is about three things: embedding privacy proactively into the design of your system, into the guts of the engineering of the system, the design specifications, into the architecture at the time when the technology is just being built. So the smart grid, ideal candidate because it's at the nascent stage, it's in its infancy. This is the time to ensure that we embed privacy into design. Then you do it in this what we call positive sum, not zero sums manner. Retire zero sums, the old dated model of you got to have one or the other. No, it's not either or. You have to have both privacy and security. And if you can make privacy the default setting, by which I mean it's the condition that is the prevailing condition. Customers don't have to ask for it. It is embedded by default into the system. And we know that whatever the default is, 80% of the time the default condition rules. So you make privacy the default condition, that means no unauthorized third parties are going to get access to customer data without the customer's permission. Perfect. If the customer wants it, great. Privacy is all about freedom of choice. But if they don't consent to it, nobody else gets that information. That would be a win-win scenario.
Well, Dr. Cavoukian, thank you so much for going over this. It certainly is a fascinating topic that we will continue following.
And if I could just refer people to our website, Privacy by Design, no spaces, privacybydesign.ca. We'd love to have your comments.
Okay, thank you, and
pleasure.
thanks to everyone for watching.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day.